As requested by a commenter, in this video, I'm going to cover how to be Robin in real life. Though this is going to be a series, as such I will start with Damian Wayne. Before I begin, if you enjoyed this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And I've already done Dick Grayson in my How to Be Nightwing in Real Life video. The first step is to build a foundation for your body through resistance training and cardio, and I've covered this in previous videos which you can check out. And as you build your foundation, you will want to start incorporating specific skills that Damian possesses. The first is martial arts, which I've covered in what martial arts Batman would use, but essentially you'd want a mixture of a striking and a grappling for unarmed combat. Though there is a key difference, which is that unlike Batman, who is 210 pounds, Damian as a child could be around 140, which is very light. This low amount of body mass means he needs to rely a lot more on technique and controlling his weight to have an advantage. This means possibly using the opponent's force against him, such as in the martial arts judo. It is also important to practice parkour, as the colorful outfit of the Robin makes the wearer an easy target. Luckily, the small stature reduces the surface area of getting hit by a bullet, but it's not enough. The next skill is shuriken throwing, and Robin uses a version of the batarang called a birdarang. Shurikens were tools used to harass or distract or poison enemies while trying to either finish them off or trying to escape. Now, unlike the factory-made versions used by the Bat family, you can easily DIY a shuriken with different pieces of metal and scrap. There are two major types of shurikens from my understanding, a bow shuriken and a kuramaken. The first is a stick type, the second a wheel type. Now personally, I think the bow shuriken is a better choice, as it's more disguisable than the iconic look of a kuramaken as portrayed in movies and shows. Though, the drawback is that the bow shuriken is a little more difficult than the other choice due to its weight and higher requirement of skill, and as such you will need to practice it consistently. You can also use other items if you're either out of shurikens or didn't bring them. As such, the key thing to take away is improving your throwing skills for accuracy. There are many videos that explain how to build throwing stars and explanations of proper form for throwing. And with this, you can then throw rocks, coins, nails, bolts, etc. with accuracy to harass the opponent you're fighting. The fourth is weapons mastery, as Damian, being trained by the League of Assassins, has gone through rigorous training with multiple different weapons. The sword is one of them, as shown in Son of Batman, and there's also mentions of him having a mastery of the bow, possibly better than the Green Arrow, according to Wiki Fandom. For you, it's probably the best choice to have one or two weapons to master. Swords aren't as popular and not really allowed to be carried around in public, so I would choose something more practical. A staff and or stick would probably be the best option. For one, many things can be used as an improvised version, such as baseball bats, golf clubs, lacrosse sticks, pipes, etc. Though, due to the many options of sticks and staffs available, differing in height, weight, and any additions like the net on the lacrosse stick at the end of it, simply learning one specific version of staff combat is not enough. And it's best to practice with different objects to get the best places to hold the object and the best way to execute a specific technique. It's also a good option as it can then translate into other weapons. For example, the Eskrima stick, which is used by Nightwing, can be translated into swordsmanship. and staff training can translate into using spears, halberds, or poleaxes. You also want a close combat weapon to practice with, such as a knife, or you can use the bow shuriken as a stabbing weapon as well. When choosing a specific style for knife fighting, it seems to be much more difficult, as while there are multiple options, I can't be fully sure on every style's effectiveness. And I'm more critical on the knife styles than staff styles because of the close proximity where you need to use it successfully and the chance of being cut or stabbed by accident due to the sharp area of the knife, unlike a blunt stick. Something like the MCMAP used by the Marines may be a good choice, but you still want to vet the techniques by purchasing the silicone or rubber knife trainers for martial arts, and then you and a partner are to practice the techniques they teach at full force to make sure it's effective. And you would always want to have proper safety gear to protect yourself. Next is business management, as shown in Son of Batman, where Damian notices discrepancies in the funds for Wayne Enterprises in the Argentinian market. Now, this is a complex subject due to the large amount of info needed to learn. However, you don't need a degree to start or even be good at it. You can watch free videos on the internet on the business field, along with learning the definitions of specific terms and learning to understand what tools are used and basic things like how a balance sheet is calculated, though this is just a start. Another skill is a certain level of expertise in field medicine due to the high risk of injuries as an assassin and superhero. The best case would be to take something like an EMT course, though they can be very expensive, averaging around $1,000+. If that is not viable, an alternative would be taking something like an CPR course, which is about less than $100, and also learning via videos and guides on basic ways to delay serious injuries. Some things to learn would be like making a tourniquet, or bleeding control, recognizing symptoms and what they could be associated with, and more. Finally is the skill of assassination. And while I'm not telling you to kill people, because that's illegal, there are definitely benefits that Damian has received through the years of gruesome training from the League. For example, most likely meditation to help lower stress, anxiety, and an increased focus, among other benefits. There are different types of meditation, allowing you to find one that best fits you. Another benefit of a good assassin would be the ability to stay silent when moving, so controlling your breathing, being conscious of your steps and your body in relation to the environment. Or another could be having a high pain tolerance in case you're ever caught and tortured. This can be trained through body conditioning, such as striking your body, not the head though, with a medicine ball or a wooden club at about 75% force, or exposure to specific types of pains that the enemy might use on you. Thank you all for watching, and also thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe.